and played longer, then he probably would have been able to be a Hall of Fame candidate.
Baltimore Game Day Uncensored pregame show. Let's take a look at that injury report.
Injury Report is brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Central Maryland. In pain? Contact the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Central Maryland at mdbonedocs.com. Care this good feels good to the bone. Injury Report.
And joining us for the first time, Dr. Ralph Zade. And Dr. Zade, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you.
That new meat.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So let's get started with Rashad Bateman. Got obviously the surgery he had. There was some talk that he was going to play this week. They decided to hold him out one more week. Just your best guess. What do you think is going on with Bateman?
I mean, groin injuries, in surgery can be definitely kind of often a longer recovery. So, I think that was probably pretty quick to have him, getting back to playing. But I imagine, given how quickly everything went, he probably had more of a minor type of surgery. And so, if he's recovering well, probably within the next, few weeks, he could probably get back in.
Did you did you watch games yesterday?
I did not actually yesterday.
Did you hear about, Burrows what happens when
you got a contusion in his throat?
Contusion to his throat. What is that?
Well, you have some pretty strong cartilage in your throat. And so when you get hit like that, it can really affect your breathing, your vocal cords. And so, though probably not like a long-term thing, it's definitely something scary when it happens. You want to make sure, especially if you're going out at this kind of level, that guys are getting back to, everything's okay with their breathing, when they get back into playing.
I'll ask you another one. Just Saquon Barkley yesterday.
Was that ugly or
yeah.
what? I mean, you see his ankle?
He's wearing a boot like me, but mine's broken. His is not. But they said sprain. I heard the coach today said they dodged a bullet. So what do you think is going on with his ankle?
Probably just a normal, kind of a normal ankle sprain. I mean, the thing we always worry about with sprains, and probably what he means by dodging a bullet, is not something like a high ankle sprain. That's what everyone always worries about, because those can take weeks to get back. Sometimes even, at that level requiring surgery. Usually for you or for I, something that might just take weeks and weeks and weeks to recover, but at that level, sometimes you can get them back quicker with surgery. So all in all, probably just a normal ankle sprain, with some good rehab, might be able to get back into it within a couple of weeks.
Now, what do you think about, Ronnie Stanley? Because they said he's not going to need surgery again. Is it just rest and recovery?
That he's having a little bit of a tough recovery.
Right.
His initial injury was pretty bad, and so having required, another go, and now I imagine that it's probably just going to be, getting him back, getting more therapy, getting his balance and strength back, to get back into this level of playing. Probably not something that is going to need necessarily another surgery, but, recovering from an ankle injury, especially something like that, you lose a little bit of your balance or something. And so therapy is a big part of that. And I think he's probably just got to take a little more time to get stronger and get back.
Doc, did they rush him because they had him working out through the offseason? We heard from Coach Harbaugh, and they say he's on schedule. And then he's out there doing team drills at the end of camp. Didn't play in a game, but then he's right out there for week one. Did not look right. Like, he gave up as many pressures in a game almost than he gave up the last time he was healthy
in the preseason game. He was horrible.
Yeah. So did they rush him out there? Because then he's like, well, now we got another problem after it.
Probably not from like a serious injury kind of perspective, but, the recovery for these things can take weeks and months. And so he might have been a little bit rushed in his, therapy and his recovery back to that level of playing. It probably won't have any serious consequence necessarily down the line, but it may have kind of set back a little bit of his, normal recovery.
Dr. Zade, thank you so much for joining us. Don't be a stranger. Hopefully we'll see you again. But Dr. Ralph Zade, thank you so much.
It gets
Thank you,
easier.
guys.
Yeah. Well, here's the good news, bad news. We like you more when there's more injuries to talk about, but that's bad for the team. So it's like, I remember talking to the guys last year, they had no injuries. It's like, well, I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
So-
Hey,
Scott and George, we're like, we don't have it. This is good. We don't.
Dr. Adams is like, I don't know. But thank you so much.
Yep.
Hey,
Thanks,
nice-
Doc.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
It's Baltimore Game Day Uncensored pregame show. Ken Wyman, Vinny Serrato, Mike Preston rejoins us. We're live here at the Jameson Fan Zone at the Horseshoe Casino. When we come back, we'll climb the depth chart. We'll go behind enemy lines, and we'll get the first look at the weather with meteorologist Vinny Serrato. Baltimore Game Day Uncensored with you till 8 right here on 105.7 The Fan.
I've driven my tractor trailer millions of miles, and I've seen it all. The next time you change lanes when driving, remember, because of the sheer